Off we go. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network. I am Ryan Hartson. We're breaking down the National Football League with you on this lovely Saturday. Just talked about the storylines a little bit. Not sure what they were about, but they were okay. And now we move on to breaking down all the games in the National Football League except for the Monday night game because, well, I was going to be breaking down the Monday night games, but then they started being terrible, unwatchable even. But this one's good. Bears, Eagles, we will talk about it. I will have a Monday night segment for you on Monday afternoon, because that's when I'm home from school. Okay, so let's start breaking down the games. These games are terrible. Most of the bad games tend to be terrible. You know, that's how the league works. Let's start off with Seahawks-Cowboys. Cowboys got it at home. Tony Romo is going to do very bad things to the Seattle Seahawks that they do not want done. That's kind of how it's going to go. The Seahawks are a mess. Not only are they a mess, they're an even bigger mess when they go play somewhere on the road, except for the Giants, because they can go to New York and win. I don't know why that happened, but it's because the Giants kind of are a mess too, but that's not the point. The point is the Cowboys are really, really good. I don't care how many games they lose, 34-7 in Philadelphia. That just happens when Mike Vick gets hot. Mike Vick just does things when he gets hot. So I don't fault them for that loss, but if they lose this, they lose all respect and any reputation that they ever had with me, and I will never pick them again. I can't, if you lose to Seattle at home, I can't deal with you. Except for the Giants because they rebounded. Anyway, Cleveland and Houston. Matt Schaub, similar to Tony Romo, going to do things to the Browns that they do not want done. The Browns are really bad. Colt McCoy, I thought he'd be a good quarterback. He's not. I think the lockout and some stuff really affected him, so he's not going to be as good this year. I think he might take that step next year, or he might not. You never know. Maybe he just sucks. It happens sometimes. But the Texans are really, really good. You win that game, you keep moving forward. I think they're going to run away with this division because Tennessee is going nowhere. Jacksonville is going even less far. And the Colts are the dumpster fire of the league. So, you know, it's just another one of these games. Ho-hum, let's get it over with. Atlanta, Indianapolis. The Falcons kind of have to win this game because they are in a lot of trouble in the division. You got to keep up with New Orleans and Tampa Bay, and if they want to stay in it from getting off to their slow regular season start, you beat the Colts in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a mess, so forget about it. Now, the most unwatchable game in the National Football League this week. Dolphins-Chiefs. Horrible. Horrid. It's atrocious. I don't know. Me and Tim were talking about this off the air just now. If you're in Kansas City or Miami and you don't have DirecTV and you're not a fan of the Chiefs or the Dolphins, how do you watch that game? What do you do? Ugh. Yeah, you got to go rent a movie. Go out to lunch, mow the lawn. If you're in Miami, go to the beach. Oh God, what a terrible football game. I mean, that might not even rate very high. People might just be like, I'm not watching that. That's what I'd do because, oh God. Oh, brutal football game. Is that on at noon? Oh my God, it's a noon game. That could be on in our market. Ugh. It probably will be. You know that game could be on in our market, and I don't have DirecTV, so off to the movies before Green Bay San Diego at 3:00. So you know, and when we get to the picks, I don't even know what to do. I don't know. I just changed the pick. I'm making my picks as I go along. I just changed it. San Francisco and Washington. San Francisco is really good, and I talked about this on Monday. As long as the 49ers don't make mistakes, they are going to be fine. Running the ball, playing great defense. Basically, and nobody wants to admit this because you're not supposed to hide players in the NFL. I can't believe I just did air quotes. You just want to hide players in the NFL. The 49ers are hiding Alex Smith. Like, he's just like, he's not throwing very much. He's got a terrible QBR, which is ESPN's new super stat for quarterbacks, on a rating of 100 and blah, blah, blah. Forget about it. It's like sabermetrics. And it's just, he's not very good. And he's only thrown a few picks this year, but that's because he only throws the ball like 12 times a game. He's like Bob Greasy of the Miami Dolphins. He threw the ball like 6 times on that Super Bowl the 72 Dolphins played in. And they just ran the ball a million times. And that's what they do. Run the ball, play great defense. Alex Smith, don't screw it up. Mark my words. And Niner fans know this because they watched the dude play for years, 7 years now. Eventually, Alex Smith is going to screw it up for you. I don't care how excited you are right now. He is going to screw it up for you at some point. It is what he does. On the other side, the Washington Redskins are a mess, and I knew they were the mess from square one. Somehow they got a little bit of hype around them. Like in the middle, like week 6, they're like, oh, then the Redskins, they're for real, right? They play great defense, and Rex Grossman, he's coming back. Boom, throws 4 interceptions, you're done. Now they lose 23-0 to Buffalo in Toronto. So there you go. And Rex Grossman was a mess. John Beck might have been the one quarterback that would have made you scream to put Rex Grossman back in the game. Like, just a terrible quarterback situation. I don't care what you thought the defense was. They're awful. The offensive line is a mess, and they can't run the ball. The Redskins are done, and they were done even when they were 3-1. It's the Redskins. And people, it's like this thing with the Bengals. People freak out. Oh, my God, the Bengals. They're terrible. I don't care if they beat the Titans later tomorrow and get to 6-2. When you run into Pittsburgh and the Ravens twice, you're going to get killed. Rookie quarterback, rookie receivers. The offensive line is still a mess. The defense is playing okay, but they've had an unbelievably easy schedule. So it's the same. The Redskins were the same thing. The Bengals are the same story as the Redskins, just a step behind. Moving on to the Broncos and the Raiders with the quarterback of the Denver Broncos of that name I'm not saying anymore. You know who he is. He's terrible. He's dreadful. He's awful. We talked about him before. The Raiders run the ball, play great defense, and Carson Palmer, after that bye week and the time to get assimilated, and hopefully he's a little more athletic now, I would hope he's not going to throw 4 interceptions. Like, that's all I can ask for him. I don't care what he does, just don't throw picks. And I think that has to happen because the Broncos are just that bad. Oh, God. Rams, Cardinals. Just, yeah. The sacrificial Rams playing the Arizona Cardinals. But Kevin Cobb, turf toe. He might not play. Bum bum. $60 million down the crapper. He is terrible. And the Cardinals are terrible besides Larry Fitzgerald, like every other year. Cardinals suck. Larry Fitzgerald's good. Like, that's all you can say about him. And the same thing with the Rams. It's like, the Rams suck. It's Steven Jackson. It's tremendous. That's all you can. These are the two teams of one great skill player and no quarterback to get them the ball. And I don't know who I'm picking. Whatever. I really don't care. That game, oh, God. Another one that if that's on in your area, just turn off the TV. Turn on, like, the news or something. 60 minutes. Last one. Bengals, Titans. The Bengals are terrible. The Titans are worse. Again, the Bengals are going to be 6-2 by accident. By accident. They've had an unbelievably soft schedule. I think they're going to win the game. I do. I think they're going to win the game. But that's because the Titans are worse. Did you really think bringing in Matt Hasselbeck was going to save you? He's old. He hasn't played well since like 2007. He hasn't been healthy since 2007. It's a miracle he's played in all the games so far this year. Chris Johnson runs for 29 yards per game. 2.8 yards per carry. He's a mess. Apparently he got paid and then just sat down. Like, I'm done. I got however many, I don't even know what his money was. I got whatever millions of dollars. Screw it. I'm just going to chill. So these are the two teams that, and again, the Titans, it's the same thing. I don't care how many games the Titans win. They're awful. They're awful. They're 3-4. They're way worse than 3-4. They've had a really soft schedule. So the two teams that have had soft schedules all year now get to play each other. What's going to happen? Maybe the worst game of the day. There you go. Your bad games in the National Football League. And if that put a bad taste in your mouth, we'll get that bad taste out with a little Ravens, Steelers, Patriots, Giants talk next. I'm Ryan Hartson. It's the BWC Network.